Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome around the globe to Kangen Water Radio, featuring the Kangen Water Health and Information International Call, where we consider, clarify, and often correct the conventional wisdom around Kangen water technology, the different machines, the science behind water types, uses, and benefits, the testing process, the maintenance and cleaning of the machines, and much, much more. We also explore a plethora of other topics as we teach, promote, and discuss the three-pronged approach to health and wellness, hydration, detoxification, and complete macro and micro nutrition. I'm family physician Dr. Lisa Battle Singletary, now retired, now your virtual keto coach. And I will be joined by my co-host and fearless leader, Mr. Terrence Hope, an Adject 6A distributor extraordinaire. And together we bring you the best of both worlds. You know, I can hardly believe these numbers, but this is call number 428. And I believe for YouTube, I think this will be the 50th video that we put up on YouTube for Kangen Water Radio. I'm so excited about that. It is Saturday, September 25th. Can you believe it? We're almost done with September. That means the holidays are fast upon us. That means the new year isn't just around the corner. So we've almost made it through 2021. And whew, my head's spinning. But I'm thankful for every day that we've had this year, and I'm thankful for you for being here with us, whether you're on the replay or whether you're with us live. So today we're talking about something, this topic, some of you know my mind takes these journeys. And so I was on a journey because I've been hearing more and more and more now. This has been a trend, but it seems to be accelerating about people that I know that have a challenge with cancer. And so I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about, and this is something we may do very soon in the future, revisiting the 5-step cycle of cancer and I'll just refer you to calls number 50 through 54 that Mr. Hope and I did. I guess it's a couple of years ago now. And both of us had very, I think, meaningful experiences with loved ones with cancer. Well, I've got more loved ones with cancer now. And I was thinking about the immune system. And I was thinking about all the things that the immune system does, not just cancer. And I went to this comedian. I don't remember his whole name, Jeff Foxworthy, maybe. I should have looked him up. I don't know. But he talks about rednecks. He was like, well, if you blah, 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 you might just be a redneck. And if you, whatever, I don't know. It reminded me of growing up. I used to watch the show Hee Haw with my parents. And so that, when they said, they talked about the food they were having that day, and they would say, yum, yum, we're going to have scrambled possum, whatever's. And anyway, I was just thinking, if you have, and I started going down the alphabet. So I was thinking, okay, A's. If you have allergies, anaphylaxis, adenomas, could go on. You might just have some involvement with the immune system. And you go to B. If you have broken skin, broken bones, blood clots, the immune system might just be involved. If you have cancer, if you have cellulitis, if you have any itis, right? Put anything in front of that itis, the immune system might just be involved. Actually, definitely is. If you have you name the disease, the disorder, the dystrophy, the discomfort, your immune system just might be involved. In fact, it probably is. If you have, so as A, B, C, D, if you have E, exposures, right? Your immune system might be involved. So I just thought about all of those things that the immune system does, and I started looking at some articles, and I saw an article, Healthline did not disappoint, called Fun Facts about the Immune System. And I sometimes I search for fun facts on things, but I just wasn't in the realm of fun when I was searching, but I liked the article. So we're talking about fun facts about the immune system today. And once I searched more fun facts, I found some awesome resources. So speaking of resources, I'm still working on the resource list from the last call. And that is because I really wanted to be able to include the good food, bad food list on that. And I just figured out how to make a link to it this morning. So now the replay is already on YouTube for the last call number 427, which was the carb traffic light. So the great carbs, okay carbs, and stop carbs. But again, the good food, bad food list is our foundational guideline for dietary recommendations. So, and especially the bad food list. So in the resources, and I actually went back through all of the call resources to update those links to include not just Dr. Peter Glidden's video on the 12 bad foods that you should never, ever eat, but also an actual PDF document of the good food, bad food list. And I also, of course, took the opportunity to update it with a couple of articles that we talk about all the time. So just know, if you've ever gone to YouTube and clicked the description box of any of the videos and you saw the call resources, they have been updated as of this morning. Okay, so let's talk about some fun facts about the immune system. I got two really, let me see if I can find them. Two, well, actually, I have 4 articles I pulled up. One of them is super, super amazing. And I'll tell you why I pulled them up. So the first one was from Healthline, and this is the article that inspired the title of the call. Fun facts about the immune system. Now, this article gives you a little overview of the immune system. And I loved how it starts out. Your immune system is your body's version of the military, sworn to defend against all who threaten it, both foreign and domestic. It has some really interesting soldiers that help make this possible. And we have talked about the infantry, the special forces, being the antibodies, et cetera. So your immune system helps protect against disease, infection, and helps you recover after an injury. And trust me, it does much, much more. It's excuse me, the immune system is a complex fighting system. Please underline and emphasize the word complex. Powered by your blood and your lymph. And your lymph, we talked about your lymphatic system. In fact, it was a discussion of the lymphatic system in call number 49 that led to the entire discussion of the 5-step cycle of cancer. So, we've hit this topic a lot, but I don't think we could hit it enough. So we talked about the white cells, and I like this, they call it the knights, like white knights slaying a dragon. White blood cells charge into battle at any sign of trouble. And there are 2 different types of white blood cells. Well, that's a very gross simplification. There are a lot of types of white blood cells. But I love it talking about knights. Fever and inflammation are good signs. We spend so much money trying to get drugs to bring down a fever, when a fever is actually part of your body's defense mechanism. And it's something that, it tells us something's going on. It tells us that our immune system is actually in the process of trying to fight something off or repair something. So maybe don't be so afraid when there's a fever going on, because your body has a job to do, and this is part of its job. This is so important. Sleep now or forever hold your peace. Rest is so important. When you get run down, and I don't have to tell you this, when you get run down, you are more susceptible to catching whatever you're exposed to. So make sure and get your rest. Your sun, your vitamin D. Here we go. Stress damages your immune system. And what are some sources of chronic stress? They could be internal, right? In your thought life, in your schedule, in your lack of rest, in your external, like people around you. We're being squeezed on all sides these days sometimes, and we're put in more and more stress when we are imposed upon with things that we can't control. So, and what can that do to us? That can increase things like anxiety, depression, digestive issues, heart disease, sleep disorders, weight gain, memory, concentration problems. So what are some things that will reduce your stress? Meditation, yoga, acupuncture, talk therapy, art therapy, exercise, eating healthfully. Laughter helps your immune system. I love this one. You've heard me say this before about kids. Let them eat dirt, right? Germs help your immune system to develop. And we want our immune system in tip-top shape. So it's almost like exercise to being exposed to different germs. And guess what? This second article, and the article goes on much longer. So a lot of good information there. And I'll put it in the resources. But the second article is by EmergenC. Now, I'm not promoting EmergenC, but I loved the first fact that they brought out in their list. And that is this: our immune system remembers every microbe it has ever fought and defeated. This means that if a microbe enters the body for a second time, and we've talked about the second exposure being such a different, or bringing such a different chain of events than the first exposure, right? So the second exposure, the immune system has stored memory cells. It has stored a record that enables it to quickly recognize and fend off the microbe before it has a chance to affect you. It says infect you. I'm going to say affect you. I'm parsing words there. Before it has a, I'm sorry, I just I didn't catch that word before, or that phrase before, but the point is the first exposure is one episode. The second exposure is a whole another chain of events. Okay, so I went to this article, 10 Amazing Facts About Your Immune System. And I think I'm going to use that picture. I like that picture. Okay, so the immune system gives you little overviews, a network of cells, tissues, and organs that work together to protect the body against infection. And this is so important that this article brings out, maintain overall health. So it's not just fighting off invaders, right? So I like this, just the thinking of that each part of the immune system has a unique function or multiple functions. Vaccines educate your immune system. Every day we encounter billions of germs, but they're not all bad. Stress, again, affects the way your immune system works. Positive emotions, remember that laughter, and a healthy lifestyle may boost your immunity. Sleep deprivation can impact immunity. Allergies are the result of your immune system reacting to a false alarm. Oversimplification, but you could think of it that way. Your immune system can attack itself, not in the whole picture, but you can think of it that way. Women are more likely to be diagnosed with autoimmune diseases. And number 10, being too clean can inhibit your immune system from functioning properly. Now, this article, you may suspect, was published before the events of 2019, 2020. In fact, it was 2015. So that's kind of an old article for us, but I did like some of the points it brought up. So here's the amazing list. And Supplements 101, I never heard of this thing before, supplements101.net. So I'm not promoting them, but this article, 44 immune system facts and stats for supreme resilience. The name, it got me. So they start off, and here's the table of contents, that they start off with the top 10 immune system statistics. They give us some facts about the immune system and its cells, and basically all of the top 10 things it will eventually break down. So the top 10 statistics: human beings have between 4,500 and 11,000 white blood cells in each microliter of blood. That is 1 cc. That's a fifth of a teaspoon, like just a little bit of blood. It's got all these cells. Hundreds of millions of different B cells circulate in the body. Now, why is that important? Because the B cells are the only cells that produce antibodies. And each B cell colony can only produce one type of antibody. So your body has, what does it say? Hundreds of millions of B cells just waiting to be stimulated to produce antibodies to fight off infections. It is amazing. Okay, sorry. I'm entering into geek zone about the immune system. I am so sorry about that. But again, all of those facts are broken down into not only extra detail about the topic, but the references. And the references are below. I love looking at references. And also there is a section on fun facts about the immune system. There's also a section on how food impacts the immune system. And we have done actually several calls where we touch on, or we included in the resources, what foods help to nourish and support your immune system. And we've had some awesome lists, and I'll put one of the lists in the resources on this call. But don't forget, we love our turmeric, right? Because it is so multifactorial. But we've also talked about some other foods and supplements that really help to nourish and support the immune system. Okay, I could go on, right? And in the call, in the resources, I'll also reference some of the calls that we have done in the past that touched on the same topics, and maybe we'll have some resources that will specifically interest you. Now, I'll tell you something that will specifically interest you right now, and that is if we bring to the call our fearless leader, Mr. Terrence Hope, an EmergenC 6A distributor extraordinaire, the vigilant, consistent, persistent health advocate and health influencer to the stars and to the globe. Mr. Hope, are you with us, sir? I think that's you. Okay, well, we're waiting for our fearless leader, but in the meanwhile, I see a hand that's popped up. So we will be taking questions and comments at the end of the call, but while Mr. Hope is making his way to the call, why don't we see what has triggered Juanita's brain with a question or comment today. So Juanita, welcome to the call.
Well, hello, Dr. Lisa. I'm gonna start my video and okay. So
There you are. I was looking for you.
I have okay, let's go back. We were on the article Healthline, and you said something like
I'm gonna pause you one quick second, Juanita. I'm gonna pause you one quick second. Well, I am here. I must get into some con water very quickly. So sorry for my little quick delay.
Okay.
And we'll get right back to you, Anita. You'll be próximo, next, okay?
Okay, I'll go back on mute.
Okay, dear. Thank you so much. Thank you. And welcome everyone to the Kangen Water Health Information Call. And thank you, Dr. Singletary.
From a secret bunker.
My secret
somewhere
bunker.
Beneath a building lit by artificial light from the window, from the fake window.
I'm clearly on the mountaintop.
So where do we get you?
Thank you so much. And today, thank you all for joining us from coast to coast throughout the world, from coast to coast across the United States, and from around the world, from the United Kingdom to Dubai, to India, to Africa. We see you all on our call, and as well, we know that you are on our Facebook Live. Thank you for joining us. We're happy to have you. Dr. Singletary, here on the Kangen Water Health and Information Call, we are very fortunate. These are members who are joining us to have a board certified physician, a doctor, who is now lending her time to the explanation of information regarding nutrition, hydration, and detoxification. It is very rare that we have this opportunity to ask questions of a medical professional, a board certified American doctor, who can give us more details about the understanding of our health, the mechanism of disease, nutrition, how that affects our organs and our overall health, understanding the self-healing ability of the body from the medical perspective. And so, Dr. Lisa Singletary, we are very thankful, very glad, and I bow to you for being here and being here with us all over the world. As well, I'm very happy to see your subject matter today, the immune system. I think it was fun, something, and the immune system. Fun and games with the immune system. What was that? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Fun facts.
Fun facts. Fun facts. I guess because the immune system is no game player. It is the enemy to. It is the how do we put it? Our first line of defense against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. We leave nothing out, yes? And we understand more and more that the body is self-healing. We've got self-healing abilities. Our body takes care of itself. The body is self-regulating. Notice all the animals in the wild. By the way, that's not fake sunshine, it's real sunshine, just so you know. Notice all the animals in the wild, how they never seem to go to see a doctor. There's no dialysis center that they walk up to in the last 10 years. There's no, so the body's self-healing. It takes care of itself. And we're going to go into more of that to understand more about that. And today as well, understand the immune system and understanding our wonderful and lovely Kangen water systems. So we begin today at the beginning. So, yummy, yummy, the Enagic Kangen water machines. At Enagic, we have a motto that says, change your water, change your life, because it does make quite an incredible difference when you are a user, a drinker of the Kangen water machines, and a user of the Kangen water machines and a drinking of the Kangen water. So we're going to learn more about that. I'll always go into the fundamentals about Kangen water because there always needs to be a clarity about what it is, because there's been so much, what's the word I'll use? No, not that one. I'll say misunderstandings about the detail of what it is, yeah? So we begin at the beginning. So Kangen water, what is it? Yes? Kangen water, by science definition, is known as an electrolyzed reduced water. Now, many of you who have been on our call from week to week and month to month, notice that I always go over the same information. And why is that? Because Kangen water has commonly become known as alkaline water. And the Kangen water, in fact, is not per se an alkaline water, particularly in the chemical sense. Kangen water's true definition is electrolyzed reduced water. Electrolyzed reduced water. Whenever you want to find out what the science and health benefits are of our Kangen water, you don't want to look up the name Kangen water per se, even though that's our brand name. But as our brand name, it doesn't actually depict the specifics, doesn't denote the specifics of the science term. The science term is electrolyzed reduced water. So you want to look that term up so you can understand what Kangen water is, how it's working in the body, and truly all the science references that there have been that explain clearly how this water is beneficial for you. So Kangen water is an electrolyzed reduced water. Electrolyzed reduced water is produced in a process known as electrolysis. And as the prefix of the name would lend to, it's a process where electricity comes in direct contact with water. So electrolyzed, electrolysis, electricity. If you remember nothing else about Kangen water, you remember that it is produced in a process where electricity affects water. Yes. So, so what's going on? So this is one of our Kangen water machines. Yes. Famously known as the SD501, yeah? And all of our Kangen water machines produce 7 different types of water. You'll see on the settings on the machine an 8.5, a 9.0, and a 9.5 pH. And I'll explain what the pH is referencing regarding the electrolyzed reduced water. So at the top, we've got 8.5 to 9.5. These are the drinking waters that detox the body, that remove toxicity. And when you can remove toxicity, you allow the body to balance itself, balance its own pH, keep the organs in proper order and proper function. Because when you have a detox body, the body's better able to manage its own pH equilibrium and manage all of its different health functions. Yeah. There's also something called a neutral pH water, highlighted in green. This is a clean water by our definition or by our heading, but it's really just a neutral pH water. All of our water is clean. This one is just the neutral pH water. Acidic water, also known as beauty water in our machines, used externally only, not for drinking. Use it on your hair and use it on your skin. It'll kill bacteria into the pores of your skin and allow your hair to be at the right pH so it can function better. I've often seen women use it on their hair and see their ends tighten up, so there's no frayed or split ends, just with the use of water. But remember, water is not just water. There are different pHs, there are different elements, there are different properties of water. So even though a substance is transparent, it does not make it all the same. And that's the case with all kinds of waters. There are different pHs. So here we have 7 different types of water. The strong acid water down here is used for sterilizing surfaces. It will kill E. coli, bacteria, and mold, viruses on contact. Our machines have become very popular because of this particular strong acid water feature that can be used on surfaces in an environment in most of our industrialized world, particularly the US and Europe and UK, where there's been an issue of viruses, yes? So strong acid water is one of our settings on the machine, and it is in science known as hypochlorous acid. Hypochlorous acid, I'll put a heading on here in the future. You can look up that term, hypochlorous acid. And also another water we've got here called strong Kangen water. This is a water that has a higher pH because of the saltwater content that is used specifically for producing strong acid and strong alkaline Kangen water. It's an 11.5 pH. Use this water, the strong Kangen water, in a large bowl. Place in that bowl your fruits, your vegetables, your chicken, your fish, your meats, your whatever you want to cook, prepare for meals. It will pull toxicity out of the food. Think of it as a hypochlorous acid. Think of it as a hyper koshering process. Hyperkosher, hypochlorous, hyperkosher. That's interesting. Hyperkosher, which is used in the Jewish traditions of purifying foods. Hypochlorous, hyperkosher. Interesting. Something I just came across. So it's kind of like a hyper-koshering process. In the Jewish traditions, you put salt water, sea salt, sea salt in water, and then you put your meat or your chicken or whatever fish in there. It'll draw the blood out of the meat, and help to kill bacteria. The idea is that when you cook your meal, there's no bacteria from the blood that was left behind in the meat. Yeah. So in the same way with the strong Kangen water, which is an 11.5 pH water, where electricity hits salt water in that particular chamber of the machine, you have something that will pull bacteria out of your food. It will help to kill bacteria. It will help to draw out and emulsify oil-based pesticides. So your fruits and vegetables that are sprayed with pesticides in most parts of the US and on imported, even organic foods coming in to kill, any kind of insects. These fruits and vegetables can be filled with pesticide poisons. You don't want to eat that. That can accumulate in your body long term. So the 11.5 water will draw that out. So you have a pure food, and it'll have a benefit for purifying your chicken as well, your meat, your fish, your rice, that type of thing. So use the 11.5 water to purify your foods. Use a strong acid water to kill bacteria and viruses on surfaces and mold. Use the Kangen water, 8.5 through 9.5, for hydration and detoxification of the body internally. So There are different types of Kangen water machines. I'm highlighting the Kangen 8 machine over here in white, the Kangen SD501 Platinum here in a more of a metallic exterior, the Kangen SD501 Original, which has been our flagship machine for the past, what, 17 years, 18 years now? So these are our most popular models. The Platinum, the SD501, the Kangen 8 machine, and the SD501. The difference in these machines is this. Our machines, once again, are electrolysis water devices, yes? So inside of the machine, there are electrical circuits. And on those electrical circuits, there are metal plates. The metal plates are made of platinum wrapped titanium. So on the surface of this platinum metal, when you hit water with electricity, you'll see the formation of antioxidant molecules. Yes, the antioxidant molecules are responsible for the detox effect that the water is having inside your body when you drink Kangen water. Yes, yeah. So in the difference of the machines, the greater the surface area of the platinum metal, the greater the surface area where the antioxidant molecules can form when the water, Kangen water, is hit with electricity. Yeah. So the more surface area, the stronger the antioxidant effect. The more plates you have, the more surface area you have. The Kangen 8 machine has 8 plates. The SD501 has 7 plates. Both the platinum SD501, which has a metallic surface, and the original SD501 are very similar, the same in workmanship on the interior. They both have 7 plates. So health-wise, you'll get the same health benefits from either of them. Many people pick the platinum because they like it the way it might look decoratively. Otherwise, they might pick the original SD501. Otherwise, they might consider the K8. The Kangen 8 machine has 8 plates on the electrical circuit, and it also has a universal power supply system. That universal power supply will allow it to plug in to any electrical socket in any country in the world, and it will work without the use of a power converter or a circuit breaker to change the power, a power converter. So in the UK, you've got one power system. In the US, you have yet another. In India, you have another. In Dubai, yet another. Yes? Nigeria, South Africa, very similar power systems to the UK. Other countries might have others. So you can plug this machine into any electrical socket in any place in the world when it comes to the K8 machine. Platinum SD501 and the original SD501, excellent machines, sturdy, reliable, our flagship units for the past 17 years roughly. So choose a machine of your choice, enjoy it, it is beneficial. Yeah? What? SD501 Platinum. So what are we saying? Overall, Kangen water is an electrolyzed reduced water. It's produced in a process known as electrolysis. And electrolysis is a process where electricity comes in direct contact with water. And that's where the formation of antioxidant molecules occurs. And therefore, when you drink Kangen water, it has an antioxidant effect in the body, removing toxicity. And when you can remove toxicity, you allow the body to be toxic-free, when it's more able to maintain its own self-healing mechanisms with a toxic-free environment. There's a great deal of science information about Kangen water, but not by the brand name, but by its science name. Electrolyzed reduced water, electrolyzed reduced water. If you want to understand the health benefits for your particular health issue, plug in electrolyzed reduced water into some science journal online if you like, and put the heading of whatever health issue you're dealing with. You'll find over 14,000 different science reviews, clinical trials on the subject matter of electrolyzed reduced water, science papers, and quite thorough. So what's happening in our machines? Yes, electricity is coming in direct contact with water. So with my slide here depicts a lightning strike, hitting perhaps a lake, pond, body of water. And when lightning hits water, it creates a restructuring of the water molecule. So here we have our H2O. This is our molecular structure of water, H2O. And we're going to now hit that with electricity. Kapow, kapow. And when you do that, you cause the H2O water molecule to divide down into its elements. H2O has H, and O. H, and O. You divide that now down to segments. H plus and HO, or rather OH negative, are the two aspects of the water molecule. So we hit water with electricity and it divided it into two segments. Here's our nice little flow chart diagram of what's going on. So we started with water. We hit that with electricity. It divided into segments. It yielded one of the molecular structures known as an hydroxide ion, also known symbolically as OH negative. This is an alkaline molecule, just so you know, yeah? What we do with the Kangen water machines is to use this OH negative molecule as a measuring tool of the overall volume of antioxidant ions within the water at a time. So if you can see this diagram I have here, we've got this OH negative molecule that's here represented in the center. You've got water bonding to the molecule, but just imagine you also have a number of other antioxidant molecules within the water, yeah? So the antioxidant ions or molecules are responsible for the detox. We use the OH negative molecule as a measuring tool. It's alkaline. So we then say, the more of these alkaline molecules we have in electrically processed water, the greater the number of antioxidant ions or molecules we have in the water at a time. Yeah? We're not alkalizing the body. Just because this is present in the electrical process of water does not mean that it's going to be alkalizing you. Yeah? So it doesn't have an alkalizing factor. So because you have this in the water, our effort is not to make you more alkaline. There's been a lot of rhetoric that says your body is alkaline, drink alkaline water, eat alkaline foods, and you'll be healthy. It's not quite accurate. Your body is not entirely alkaline. I'll go over some details later. Some of your organs in your body are acidic and must remain acidic to be healthy. If I alkalized it, it would become dysfunctional, ineffective, inadequate, right? Not useful anymore. So remember that. We're not alkalizing the body. We are detoxing. And the alkaline aspect of the body, of the water, this OH negative molecule, is only there as a measuring tool for us. And I'll go over more details. So watch this. So inside the machine, here's an example of what it looks like when electricity is hitting water, with the nodes that are anode and cathode, the two poles inside the machine where electrical current is flowing, and the process, a number of molecular structures are produced. Many of them have antioxidant effects in the body. Here's a nice paper that came out of a publication known as Science Direct. They had an article in there called Trends in Food, Science, and Technology. It's back from February 2012, and it talked about the many antioxidant elements that are in the electrolyzed reduced water. Here it says, as a common mechanism in electrolyzed reduced water, symbolized as ERW, water is reduced loses a loss of electron by electrical energy, rock energy, and other energy to produce active hydrogen atoms and mineral nanoparticles. Hydrogen atoms produce hydrogen molecules, which are weak reductants, but can function as hydrogen donors. Mineral nanoparticles sustain reduction energy because they gradually dissociate to mineral ions, releasing electrons. So it's just going over a lot of details about the antioxidant properties of electrolyzed reduced water. And you can take a look at that on your own, at your leisure. So what we're looking for is an antioxidant water, We have a meter, an electrical meter known as an oxidative reduction potential meter. And on that meter, there is either a negative number that's going to be produced on the screen or a positive number. So we have a little wand we put into a liquid substance, and it will read on the screen either negative or positive. If it's negative, it's letting you know that the substance has an antioxidant effect. If it's positive, it's letting you know that the substance has an oxidizing effect. And an oxidizing effect can cause your body to store more toxins or build up in more toxicity, which would cause more pH imbalance and lead to health problems with the body. So when you look at Kangen water, you're going to find it on the far end of the spectrum in the negative realm, with in this case, representing a negative 400, even though the negative ORP or oxidative production potential goes much higher with Kangen water machines, even up as far as 800. But we're seeing it as a negative number, letting you know that this is an antioxidant substance, looking at water and Kangen water. And then if you look at the other side of the spectrum, you see a positive number when we look at soda. Very toxic substance, yeah? Tap water, replete with chemicals, chlorine, reverse osmosis water, depleted of minerals, distilled water, depleted of minerals. Purified waters, they're referring to bottled waters that can go through a lot of toxic processes when you spray them into hot scalding water into plastic bottles. That plastic can leach into the water. So we look at things that are antioxidant, vitamin C, green tea, and things that are oxidizing. Yeah. So we know the difference. Your body is mostly water. The kind of water you have in your body will dictate its cell function. Antioxidant water will be highly beneficial, right down to the cellular level. That's why we promote Kangen water as electrolyzed reduced water. We want to make sure the body's toxic free. This represents a fish tank. Many people who have ever had fish as pets, aquariums in their homes, know that you've got to, in this closed circuit environment of water, purify it from toxicity. Otherwise, the fish can suffocate. Yeah. In the same way, inside your body, you want to remove toxicity so your body can be toxic free and function at its best. Avoid junk foods. Avoid things that are not really per se food. A lot of the fast food industry produces things that we're not even sure are really food. French fries can be lost in your car for a year, be found intact without ever decomposing. So what was it when it started out? Was it really a potato? Well, the world may never know. The donuts, many different gluten-filled, flours and, artificial flavors, which are really more chemical-based than not really food. Coca-Cola, Sprite, 7-Up, where exactly is that on the food chain? Should we be drinking that? Is it really beneficial? Or is it just for profit for the manufacturer, trying to find something else for you to eat? Pizza, I think he has here. Now, I know that's a fan favorite in the United States. I don't know about Italy, but certainly in the United States it is. But you can have very gluten-filled dough, very heavy cheeses or tomatoes. Not to say always a bad thing, but the gluten is damaging to the digestive tract. And if you're not eating any fruits and vegetables and only eating foods like this, you're not allowing your body to have the enzyme action necessary inside the digestive system to function at its best. So that can be very problematic. Watch out for junk foods, eat healthy, produce proteins. Just the last example of what I mentioned. And I really go all in on this diagram here because our Kangen water has so often been referred to as alkaline water. It has been misrepresented in what it does in the body and its actual health benefit. The rhetoric of the body being alkaline, drink alkaline water, eat alkaline food, your body be healthy. Disease cannot exist in an alkaline environment. It's not quite accurate. It was very well-meaning, but many people just didn't understand the science behind this. So we want to just present the science on this so you can see it yourself, review it on your own. You don't have to just take my word for it, but you can be like they say in the Bible, be a Berean, that really studies out what has been said to them on your own. Anyone can say that I'm giving you the information. Here you go, it's true. But if you have the time to go and research it yourself in science journals, even maybe take the time to study a little science background yourself so you can see some things, just little summaries of work, you you can see for yourself whether something is true or not, okay? So here we have different pH levels within the body. And what is pH? It's known as the power of hydrogen, yeah? And so in our, on our pH scale, the scale runs from 0 to 14, and 0 to 14. These colors represent different pH levels. This would be an 8.5. This would be a 9.0. This would be a 9.5 based on their color coding. This green would be a neutral pH. Down here as a yellow, we get into the acidic realms. The darker yellow, that much more acidic. The bright orange, very strong acid, yeah? So 0 to 14 is the pH scale. And on this scale, anything below a 7 is in the acidic range. Anything above a 7 is in the alkaline range. But watch out when people show you pH scales like this. They talk about acidity as being poor health. See this here? And they talk about alkalinity being good health. It's not quite accurate. And you're going to find out more in a second, because some of your organs are acidic and must be acidic to be healthy. Therefore, it's not poor health, it's good health. Some of your organs are alkaline and must be alkaline to be healthy. Yeah? Therefore, it's good health, but that alkaline range cannot go too high. It doesn't mean the more alkaline, the better. The alkaline range cannot be too low. Doesn't mean the least alkaline, as long as the alkaline is the better. It's not accurate. It's very specific pH levels. So there are healthy organs in the alkaline range, and there are healthy organs in the acidic range. I'm going to look here. So the stomach, for example, here says the lower stomach is 1.5 to 4.0. That's below a 7 on the scale. So below a 7 on the pH scale is in the acidic range. Well, guess what? The lower stomach must be in the acidic range to be healthy. Look down here. The small intestines and the large intestines. They say 4.0 to 7.0. That is neutral to the acidic range. Neutral to the acidic range. In order to be healthy, they must stay in that range. Yes? That means you have acidic organs that are acidic and healthy. Look up above here. What do we have? I'll look this side here. It's showing saliva ranging from 6.0 to 7.4. Means your saliva can go below a 7, and your saliva can also go above a 7, depending on the stage of digestion. What is best at that time? Yes? So sometimes saliva being acidic is healthy or beneficial or functional. Depends on the stage of digestion. Sometimes your saliva is more alkaline. Depends on the stage of digestion. Yeah? Look over here. The secretion of gastric juices from the stomach lining is in the acidic range from 1.0 to 3.5. That must be in that range to be functional and effective. Doesn't mean the more acidic or the better. And it certainly does not mean alkalinity is a good thing here. So we're seeing different things occur. Look down here with the urine, 4.5 pH to 8.0 pH. Must be in the acidic range sometimes, must be in the alkaline range, depending on the stage of digestion, the function that's occurring with the urine at that time. So what do we see here? We see things in the acidic range. Look at that, 6.9 for the musculoskeletal system to 7.2, it ranges. To the alkaline range, look at the heart, 7.0, that's a 7, neutral, going above 7 to 7.4, healthy. So 7.4 to 7.45 with your bloodstream. The capillary blood, 7.35 to 7.4. So we've got alkaline functions and we have acidic functions, right? So what does that mean? The body is not entirely alkaline. It does not mean the more alkaline, the better. Doesn't mean I heard of some alkaline water, let me get the highest alkalinity I can of it because that's the best idea. That wouldn't be accurate either. So what is the body? It's a series of different functions. What is the pH of the body? A series of different ranges, depending on the organ and what it needs. And the body is self-regulating in that respect. Yeah? It knows where to put the pH. Doesn't require you to have some sort of conscious effort towards it. Doesn't mean you have to go out and drink alkaline water and alkaline foods in order for it to achieve that. Guess what? You could eat oranges, can't you? Grapefruits, yes. Pineapples, tomatoes. Guess what? They're all acidic foods. So it doesn't mean you have to avoid acidic foods. I've heard that said as well. Watch out for acid foods. It's not accurate. Yeah? You have to eat organic foods that are beneficial, whether they're acidic or whether they're alkaline. Doesn't matter, right? The body takes the energy from what you eat and converts it to what it needs to do to maintain function. Watch this. It says here, fluids in the human body function to provide digestion, lubrication, nutrient and oxygen transportation, and protection. To perform these functions, the acid levels must be varied. It's talking about pH, to match the bodily function. They probably could have better said the pH level, so you know if there's acid levels that can range, right? Acid to alkaline. Overall levels of acidity or alkalinity are measured on a pH scale and must be carefully controlled in each body fluid. How is it carefully controlled? It's carefully controlled by the body itself. There's no conscious effort you have to put into it. Down here it says body fluids and pH levels. Saliva, blood, and spinal fluid all have a pH of about 7.4. This near neutral level prevents, well, this is going into much what I mentioned already, right? So different organs, different pH levels. I'm probably making that overly abundantly clear, right? So take that home, tell your friends. Remember, watch out for the difference between different types of alkaline waters, right? So Kangen water, as I mentioned, is produced in a process with electricity. Those waters, the Kangen water machines have been in existence for the past 40 years, from 1974 in industrial forms to 1995 in home models to 2003, where they were exported from Japan around the world, starting in the United States. And when they became popular, water bottling companies began to try to mimic it. How? Kangen water was not always referred to as electrolyzed reduced water, although that's always been its science name. It became famously known as alkaline water. Alkaline water became a trending term that referenced healthy water. The water bottling manufacturers, starting in about 2008, 2009, 10, began to manufacture mineralized alkaline water, not electrolyzed processed water. They created another type of alkaline water because we were calling our water alkaline water. And they said they could not process the water with electricity and put it in bottles, but they could make a mineralized alkaline water, and who would know the difference? So if you're buying water in bottles, and it's alkaline water, it is not antioxidant. If you're buying water in bottles and it says alkaline water, it is not antioxidant. The water found in bottles that's called alkaline water is mineral water that has alkaline minerals in it. And the alkaline minerals are often not bioavailable minerals. They're not plant-based. Otherwise, the water would take on a color of the plant they got it from. Sometimes they can be synthesized, So they're not in a form that your body can absorb. You can't take dirt out of the ground and eat it, right? For minerals to be beneficial to your body, you have to, it has to be absorbed by a plant, fruit or vegetable. Then you eat the plants and it gives you the bioavailable form of the mineral, but not directly. So in these water bottles, they're dumping minerals in the water. You can't absorb minerals like that. And it becomes too much of a calcium buildup in your body if you're ingesting that on a regular basis. So mineralized alkaline water is not beneficial. It can cause a pH imbalance by bringing about calcium buildup. Electrolyzed reduced water is Kangen water, beneficial. It creates an electrical process where antioxidant ions are produced and allows your body to detox. So know the difference Be careful of deceptions. There are many types of waters on the market that are just deceiving you with alkalinity being beneficial, when in fact it is not. It is not how your body works. It's not how any of this works. Watch out for these different types of alkaline beverages. They've got they've got non-bioavailable minerals in them. They're not beneficial. Do not drink them. Do not use them. Find the Kangen water machines. Drink that. It's antioxidant. It's beneficial. Just recognize how the animals in the wild stay healthy. They eat produce and protein, and they do well. We end up with so much junk food in our body. We become so toxic. We become dysfunctional. Eat like the animals do if you can. Like Dr. Doolittle, if I could talk with the animals, if I could eat like the animals, you do better. Watch out for all the profit-making junk foods that have been produced. They're not beneficial. Yeah. If you get a scratch in your hand or a cut on the finger, you're going to find that you put a Band-Aid on it and you'll soon be healed. You know that your skin heals if you got a cut or a scratch. If there's a fracture to a bone or a break in the bone, you know that all you have to do is keep it still, and the doctors will kind of form it into a cast, so it stays still, so that it can heal evenly as it heals itself. So your body is self-healing from the surface of the skin down to the depths of the bones. What you didn't know is that that same self-healing ability continues in the body right down to the cellular level, as long as you've got proper detoxification, hydration, and energy levels. Kangen water produces that, and it's beneficial. Make sure you also have proper nutrition, because man does not live on water alone. You have to have food and beverages, food intake and nutrition. And that is how your body stays healthy. Proper nutrition, proper detoxification, proper hydration. This is the Kangen Water Health and Information Call, and we're here to tell you what it is and what you need for your body's full benefits. Contact us offline anytime through our websites or our phone numbers. Kangen Water Nation is our main website, kangenwaternation.com. You can reach that website worldwide. We also have websites in different countries. In the United Kingdom, you'll find us at kangenwaterlondon.co.uk. It's kangenwaterlondon.co.uk. Pass it on to your friends. They may have a need for all the information. In Dubai, we have a center there. We are kangenwaterdubai.com, kangenwaterdubai.com, and then call us with questions. We enjoy taking your questions by phone. And throughout the United States, reach us at 866-526-4368 in the USA, 866-526-4368. In the United Kingdom, reach us on our line there at 0800-086-9793. That's 0800-086-9793. If you are throughout Europe, Africa, and many other countries, we prefer you reach us through our UK line, +44-800-086-9793. +44 is the country code, 800-086-9793. And if you were in Dubai specifically, you can reach us on our Dubai phone line at +971, which you won't need in the country, but 0800-018-589. That's 0800-018-589. Glad that we've been here to talk. Glad that Dr. Singletary is sharing the stage with us. Happy to have your questions now. We're going to go into our Q&A mode now. You can ask us questions worldwide. Come from wherever you are. If you're in the United Kingdom, in the UK, if you are in Africa, Nigeria, if you're in South Africa, Ghana, Kenya, Morocco, if you're in Dubai, you're on the Zoom call with us, go ahead and raise your hand. You'll see under the Zoom menu, there's something called reactions, and it gives the opportunity to raise a hand. Just click there and your hand goes up like mine just did. Or you can wave a hand just like that and have all kind of fun with it. But it lets us know that you have a question, you have a comment. And I'll tell you this, we enjoy taking your questions worldwide, and your varied questions help the overall audience. You have to keep in mind, we go over a great deal of information here on the Kangen Water Health and Information Call. But there may be specific things that we may not cover because we didn't go over it in this moment. But you may have a question about that. You're asking me the question gives us an opportunity to address something that we had not considered. And that's beneficial for you to answer your question, but it's also beneficial for people all over the call who may have a question, who may have had that question in mind or thought, hey, oh yeah, that's a good question. What's the answer to that? So everyone here, as a Kangen Water Nation community member, makes the call much more fruitful and gives everyone the opportunity to understand so much. And we love to be here to answer questions. So raise your hand, wave about, unmute yourself at will. we'll take your question, and we will look to be thorough. So I pass the call back to Dr. Singletary. Dr. Singletary, your turn.
Okay, Mr. Hope, thank you for those, for that overview, as well as deep dive into Kangen water. And we have a hand from the Great Pacific Northwest, Juanita. Good morning, welcome to the call.
Wow, good morning, Dr. Lisa and Mr. Hope. We've got quite a bit of action going on at this beautiful dwelling I'm in right now. One of the neighbors has an emergency that I was trying to help with, but one of the other neighbors is helping. I want to show you a beautiful picture of the Northwest, Kangen Northwest, guys. I don't know, what color do you call that sky?
We call it blue.
And then I've got all these beautiful plants that I'm watering here with Kangen water. We've got mint, we've got geraniums and sunflowers. So I've got my notebook here. Let me go sit back down and make sure the neighbor's okay. And this is the neighbor that lives across the street, not across my hall.
Sure. So your Kangen water comments and questions.
Okay, here's the comments. I heard two different verses, I believe, in this call. One about stress, and Dr. Lisa mentioned things that would help would be like meditation, yoga, laughter, exercise. So I had to go to my Bible and look up Proverbs 17:22, which is a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. So all these wonderful scientific facts and all these wonderful, as Dr. Lisa says, she was going into the geek zone. And I think you both kind of went into the geek zone today in a very professional, wonderful way. But Dr. Lisa, you mentioned something to the fact that I wrote down, what is a multifactorial? You were talking about turmeric.
Multifunctional, maybe?
I wrote fact.
Maybe functional.
It's functional. It has many functions.
Okay, functionally correct myself.
And we have many calls highlighting the benefits of turmeric.
Sure. And your question, Juanita?
Yes. And the other thing at the beginning, when you were referring to Healthline, you said our immune system is like a military, that it both protects us from disease and injury. And what else was that?
Enemies, foreign and domestic.
That's it.
Exposures.
Enemies, hang on. Foreign and domestic. Okay.
Reference to how the United States refers to its protection of itself and other countries.
And then Dr. Lisa, you said something about 1/5 of a teaspoon of blood has between 45 and what? Billion, trillion?
4,500 and 11,000 white blood cells.
White blood cells will be the natural killer cells that the infantry of our immune system. Yes.
Well, that's one category. Yeah, there are a lot of different categories that add up to that.
Okay. And Mr. Hope, you mentioned, and I could have heard it wrong, all Kangen water machines produce 7 types of water.
That's correct.
Would it be 5 types of water?
Actually 7. So I'll highlight that right now that you mentioned it. So it's, let's see. So I'm gonna just open up one of our pages that looks directly at the Kangen water machine function. So if you look at, I'll use this because it takes me a moment to get that slide up. So good question, Juanita. Good highlight of the machine. And I'll use this slide here, which of course you all can't see yet. I share my screen, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So this machine, this little slide here shows the different levels of the water. So if I look at the Kangen water 8.5, 9.0, and 9.5 settings, those are 3 different detox levels. That's 3. Now we've got the neutral pH water, which is a 7.0 pH, designed for, if you're not looking to detox with a particular substance. Someone who is taking a medication might take that with a 7.0 water. Then you've got a beauty water, which is an acid water for your skin and hair. Then you've got the 2 types of water that come from the strong acid water button. When you press the strong acid water button, you get you'll get a strong Kangen water off of the large main tube, which is the 11.5 that I mentioned, in use for purifying your fruits and vegetables and so forth. Simultaneously, you'll get the strong acid water that comes off of the lower tube. So you're getting 2 waters at the same time when you press the strong acid water. So that's 1, 2 for strong acid, 3 beauty, 4 neutral pH water, 5, 6, 7, 8.5, 9.0, and 9.5. So really good question there, Juanita. Allow us to give more details.
I was taught that the 8.5, 9, and 9.5 are all Kangen water. So that's one type, but with 3 levels.
So glad you brought that up. Glad you brought it up. Glad you brought it up right here. Let's get to the nitty gritty. All right. So you've got 3 different pHs of water when we look at the Kangen levels, and they should be taken per the body type of the individual who is drinking it. So they are very much 3 different types of water, and not every pH is best for every person. Can I get a Google page, please? What's going on here in the world?
Sorry about the background.
So 8.5, I said that is a mild detoxification. 9.0 is mid-range. 9.5 is the highest and strongest level of the Kangen waters. Yes? So I want to be careful what level I drink per my body type. Yeah? So gonna give me something? Oh, they changed my website. Oh my God, I can't do anything on this one. What you guys doing on there? Anyway, so depending on your body type, depends on the level of water that you drink. I'll go back to my slide. Am I sharing slides?
No. And you were not sharing them.
Yes, as well, because I was all over the place with it. So watch this.
There we go.
The 8.5 pH, the lowest level, mild to detox. If someone is, everyone who begins drinking Kangen water should always begin by drinking the 8.5 pH level. Why? It's the mild to detox. And you want to be very careful not to overwhelm your body with detoxification. If you've never had a detox process before, jumping to a 9.5 could overwhelm your colon in the process of eliminating toxicity. So it's very specific to drink type 1, 8.5, at least for the first 30 days. If you get beyond 30 days on the drinking of the Kangen water, then I would say you can go up to 9.0 and thereby 9.5. Watch this. If a person is overweight, if obesity happens to be an issue, I recommend they only stay at the 8.5 and not go higher, because they have a larger toxic load within their fatty cells, which is more of an immune response to trap toxicity that the body couldn't get rid of in normal pathways. So 8.5 for your orientation period for the first 30 days, 8.5 long-term if you're carrying extra weight. Otherwise, 8.5 is where you start, 9.0 perhaps in your second month, then 9.5, depending on how your body is comfortable with removing toxicity at the varying rates. You see? So there's a difference between the two. They're all called Kangen, but you different levels for different purposes, and not every level is for everyone. Yeah? So great question. And once again, it gave me a great opportunity to go into more detail about what I was talking about with the various levels of the water. So thank you, Juanita. That's very good help to me, the call, and everyone who got to hear that today.
Can we go to your screen share, the pH chart?
Sure.
And I have a suggestion. Just because you made the comment that you were going to update your something or another.
Yeah, but you're not gonna put me on blast, Juanita. So yeah, I plan to do an updated slide here, because this one here shows a pH scale that is traditionally used by a lot of other people, showing acidity
right there,
and alkalinity, and talking about good health and about bad health, which is really very much inaccurate. So I really want to actually highlight this so people know what to avoid. But at the same time, I'm going to put up a different chart that shows the pH numbers on the pH scale and the different ranges, so they can contrast what not to do, and what to watch out for, because this is out there all over the place about acidity being poor health and alkalinity being good health. Not quite accurate, right? So we're going to make a change with that. Yeah.
Do you think possibly instead of using that word alkalize, and just so everybody knows, I've been around Enagic for 10, 12 years, and I've kind of reinstated my business, and I'm trying to get this information to these people that had it 10, 12 years ago and make sure that I'm correct. So what if we put electrolyzed reduced Kangen water? Electrolyzed.
Yeah, I could do that too. I could do that. I could do that. So yeah, because the term alkaline, while it is alkaline, has become overemphasized as importance, you know. But not while we're still in Q&A mode. I want everybody to understand that we're still in Q&A mode. And if you have a question, you have the opportunity to raise your hand and ask your question anywhere in the world.
Actually, we're way beyond the top of the hour.
Oh, okay. So we've gone over time. So we got ready to head out of here. So as we do, just as we back out of here gracefully, those who have a question, we want to catch your question on the way out. Juanita, thank you for the questions you provided. That was helpful to the crowd. And we'll catch up again, yes? All right. So off we go into the wilderness, wild blue yonder. That's Juanita got to show us the sky in the northwest being so blue. It's our time to head out of here and for us to go as well. Anyone who has questions on the way out, we'll take them. And Dr. Singletary, perhaps we'll do our little song and dance and out the door.
So thank you everyone for joining us today. I am so glad that everyone was here and we got so much amazing information from Mr. Hope, as well as the awesome questions. And hopefully you enjoyed my information on immune system fun facts. And Mr. Hope, you did give us some contact information, but I do want to encourage everyone to go check out the YouTube channel, Kangen Water Radio, and look in the description boxes of each video for the resources. And please like us, love us, subscribe, all the things to help us to grow our channel and our community. So thank you, everyone. We will see you Wednesday, same Kangen time, same Kangen station.
Same Kangen channel.
And we just we want you to have the best rest of the weekend possible.
All right.
We love you all.
We love you all. God bless you all. Enjoy. See you again here on Kangen Water Radio with Terrence Hope and Dr. Lisa Singletary, MD.
Bye-bye.